Shalom, back with part 3. Let's continue here. All right. So again, continuing on with what I was saying. All right. Albert Pike was a highly ranked Freemason. All right. And he himself told you what Freemasonry is all about, witchcraft. Okay. So that's what your founding fathers were. All right. They were all Freemasons. You understand? So you people need to get over it and understand that this is a place, right? You know, start out as a great experiment. Well, that experiment, you know, again, the international banking families, you understand? And they were always in the background. Who do you think sponsored, you know, the wars? And, you know, they you know, sponsor both sides of it. You understand that? Like the Civil War. You understand that? Okay? They play both sides. You understand that? So they were always in the foreground, in the background, you know, the people behind the curtain. All right? Because again, America is a corporation. Okay? And they own it. So that means they own the presidency, the Congress. You understand all that, people? All right? So you people need to grow up and get over it. Okay? Anyway, let's move on here, shall we? All right. So, again, wherefore he said, awake, thou that sleepest, arise, you know, from the dead. All right? And Yahweh shall give thee light. And you are the children of light. Again, he's not here to awaken everybody. All right? Particularly 2/3 of Israelites. Okay? The Lord is only dealing with a 1/3. All right? Because that's who he's coming back for. Okay? That's all scriptural, people. This is not, when we don't have personal opinions in doing these scriptures. We just simply read the scriptures and have the understanding of the scriptures. All right? Okay? All right? My thoughts are not your thoughts. This is what the Lord says. Right? Isaiah 55:8. Okay? My thoughts are not your thoughts. My ways are not your ways. And as, you know, my ways are, you know, are in the heavens, my ways are higher than yours. You understand that? So, again, this isn't about emotions and this isn't about anybody's personal thoughts. This is just simply about following the doctrine and understanding the doctrine and understand that this is the Lord's doctrine. All right? We're not here to change it. Now, mind you, of course, that's what your Renaissance plantation Christianity is all about. I mean, they created their own, you know, doctrines and canon laws. That's what the Council of Trent was all about. And then all the different denominations that come under her umbrella, Baptist, Pentecostal, Protestantism, Calvinism, whatever. If you put them all in one room, they all couldn't agree on anything because they all created their own doctrines. You understand? And in doing so, they have nothing to do with these scriptures because they have no understanding. Okay? And of course, they're all going to receive, you know, the plagues of this book for doing that, which the book tells you that in Revelations, the 22nd chapter, right, around the 18th, 19th verse. Whosoever, you know, adds to this book or removes, take away from this book, shall receive the plagues of it. All right? So the Lord got everything covered. All right? All right, so again, awake from the dead, you know, again, what says that? What is that? Romans, right? Romans 13:11. And that knowing the time that now is high time to awake out of sleep, right? And isn't that what it says here? All right? Right? To awake, all right? Let's say there, to awake thou that sleepest and arise from the dead, meaning spiritually, mentally dead, and Yahweh shall give thee light. All right? And that knowing the time, that now is high time to wake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than we believe. There you go. All right? Let's get back. Okay? So see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, not as Esau Edom. All right? Because that's what he is, a fool. All right? He's the biggest fool on this planet. Remember, he sold his birthright unto Jacob. You understand that? Which simply tells you, right, that he's profane. He's ungodly. You understand that? Which means is he's outside the temple. And he's a fornicator. Okay? And you can read this for yourselves in Hebrews 12, 16, and 17. All right? All right. So, okay, redeeming the time because the days are evil. And again, that's a compound word. Eve meaning bad, vil meaning times. And we're in those bad times. All right? Okay? Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. And again, the will of the Lord is to destroy America, Babylon the Great, and he's going to do that. And there's many scriptures that bring this out. All right, Isaiah, the 13th chapter, Isaiah, the 34th chapter. All right, Isaiah, the 47th chapter, Isaiah, the 63rd chapter. You know, who is it that cometh from Edom with thy garments from Basra? All right. Okay. And that's talking about Yahushua himself. And, you know, and it gets, it's an allegory, you know, parabolic, metaphoric, talking about, you know, he's going to do as the winepress. All right. And he's talking about the blood, you know, the blood splattering that he's going to be doing, all right, in coming back to America, Babylon the Great, all right, treading down the wine press alone, okay, and he uses that word, the wine press, parabolically, metaphorically, okay, as an allegory, all right, and you also have, what is that, Jeremiah 49, 50, 51, also speaks about America, Babylon the Great, and her destruction. How is the hammer of the earth cut asunder? All right. And, you know, talking about Edom, talking about Esau Edom, talking about, you know, the white man. All right. And destroying, you know, his system. Okay. And the destruction of America, Babylon the Great. You also have, what is that? Ezekiel, the 25th chapter, I believe, from verse 12 to 14. Gives you a little bit there, those three scriptures. You have Ezekiel, the 35th chapter. You have, what is that? Joel, the 2nd and 3rd chapters. The entire book of Revelations, pretty much, will speak about it, highlighting specifically, you know, Revelation 17 and 18, all right? You know, again, anywhere in the book of Revelations talking about, you know, the beast system, you know, the 7 heads and the 10 horns, okay? And again, in modern day, that beast system is made up of America, Babylon the Great, the whore, the EU nations, which are the 10 horns, and NATO, which is the beast itself. And altogether, the three of them make up the Edomite beast system which is the last leg and extension of the revived Roman Empire. All right, the fourth and last beast. Okay, so America is the eighth and final head of that Edomite beast system. All right, so when you understand the parable of the 7 heads and the 10 horns, in order to understand that, you have to understand circular history. You have to understand the scriptures, Daniel, the 2nd chapter, the 10 told, Daniel, the 7th chapter. Okay, and you have to understand, as I say, the scriptures as a whole, circular history, in order to understand and break down the parable of the 7 heads and 10 horns. All right, and understand that the 7 heads, the 7 mountains, represents government, nation, kingdoms. So when it says, there are 7 kings, the word kings is short for kingdoms, and 5 are fallen. Okay, 1 is, and 1 has not yet come, but when he come, he must continue a short space. So that's giving you the breakdown of the 7. So who are the 5 that have fallen? Germania Major, Germania Minor, France, all right, Spain, and the Greek Empire. Those are your 5 fallen kingdoms. Okay? And then the one that is the Roman Empire, because during the time that John the Revelator wrote the book of Revelations, okay, he was on the island of Patmos, a political prisoner to the Roman Empire, all right, in his 90s, when the angel came onto him, all right? So that's 6. And the 7th one, that has not yet come but must continue a short space would be the British Empire. Okay? Now, that makes the 7. So I told you America, Babylon the Great is the 8th head. Well, guess who comes out of Great Britain? Yeah, America, right? Was not America started up by 13 British colonies? Yes, she was. Okay? And again, you read about this in Daniel chapter 7. And she took down, plucked up 3 of her roots. Those roots meaning, other Edomite nations, right? So she had to fight Great Britain for her independence, right? So she had to fight them, fought against Spain and France. See, and those are the 3 roots that were plucked up that you read about in Daniel chapter 7. See that, people? See how easy it comes together? So yeah, so America is the 8th head that comes out of the 7. So she is the last. She's the one who rides the beast, the whore. Okay? Okay, that you read about right there in Revelations, the 17th chapter. Okay? She is that great city, that whore, mystery Babylon the Great, mother of harlot, abominations of the earth. You understand, people? All right? So, like I said, and it all culminates, in Revelation 17, particularly 18. And, of course, you also have 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, all right, which could be very graphic, much like Isaiah, the 34th chapter, very graphic, all right. Anyway, let's continue here. So, again, you won't find the word America in the scriptures, but, yes, America is in the scriptures, all right. Just because you don't see the word America doesn't mean that America, Babylon the Great. Because again, she is spiritually all these other nations in combination. She is spiritually, Sodom, as in Sodom and Gomorrah, spiritually Egypt as the house of bondage, all right, for the Israelites. Okay, she's known as the daughter of Babylon, the daughter of the Chaldeans. You understand that? Because she takes on all these cultures, philosophies, okay, spiritually, and she lives by them, okay, of all these previous kingdoms, the Babylonian, the Greco-Roman empires, the Egyptian, okay, you understand, people, because she has no personality of herself, okay, the Edomites. All right, well, end this here. We'll be right back with part 4. Shalom.